We are here live with this week's first episode of the Black Motivation Broadcast, Midweek Motivation. We're here with the amazing, excellent Mr. Pervis Taylor, who is a celebrity life coach, has been a model and an actor as well. And as well as an author, y'all. This list just keeps going, okay? We are so excited. We want to thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. It's
You're
an honor to be here to spend some time to get to know your audience and get to know you a little bit better.
Yes. So let's hop straight into this interview, shall we?
Let's go.
All right. So, what made you want to become an actor and a model and eventually a life coach? And congratulations again on your recent appearance on Fox Soul this past week.
Oh, thank you. What made me want to get into modeling and acting? I've always been a fan of films.
Mm-hmm.
I was a child model, so it was
Okay.
just something that I just kind of I always had a love for the arts. So
Okay.
music, dance, singing, all those things. So I've always had a love for it.
Awesome. Awesome. And then, for as far as being a life coach and an author?
Um, well, life coach, that's a little bit more complex.
Okay.
Actually, one of the last conversations I had with my father before he passed away from a
Mm.
heroin overdose,
Mhm.
he prophesied to me that I'd be doing the work that I'm doing today. So it kind of
Wow.
was just prophecy being fulfilled.
Yes.
Yeah,
That is so awesome and amazing. So, what are
yeah.
three highlights from your career as a celebrity life coach?
Um, Three highlights. Um, Number one, working with actress Lisa Nicole Carson,
Mm.
who used to be in the industry 15 years ago, but was kind of left Hollywood because she had bipolar disorder.
Okay.
Working with her and getting her to a place where she started acting again. I helped her to get
Awesome.
into the New Edition movie that was on BET.
Yes.
So, we worked together to get her to talk about her narrative and the power of your voice and your story. So that's a highlight. I would say a second highlight is really just all of my clients doing well.
Yeah.
I would say that's all three. All of my clients are doing very, very well, whether they are young men that I work with in college, whether they
Mm.
are an executive, a football player,
Mm.
whomever, whatever walk of life they come from,
Right.
they all of my clients, I can bravely and boldly say that all of my clients are doing well.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. And I
Yeah,
know it is due to the work that you're doing with them that they're growing and they're changing and they're moving in the right direction.
yeah,
And I'm sure that's
yeah.
exciting to see.
Yes.
So, what is the most
Yeah.
rewarding part for you about being a life coach?
I've always been a person who sees the best in people, so I always see them better than they probably see themselves. And when you see the light bulbs go off,
Mm-hmm.
and they finally get it, they finally see
Yes.
what you see.
Right.
That's always rewarding for me when I have a person that calls me, even on those days where I'm not on a level 10,
Mhm.
happiness wise or joy wise, and you'll just get a text message or email just like, Purvis, oh my God, I'm doing so well now. Thank you so much for all the work that you've done. And they could be clients that I haven't worked with in years. And for them to just even circle back
Yeah.
even years later and just tell me that they're doing well, that just really, really warms my heart and it keeps me motivated and keeps me going. Cause this,
Yeah.
working for yourself it's ebbs and flows.
Yes, that's true. And so, what are three things, if you could go back to the beginning of your career and talk to yourself, that you would give to yourself as advice?
Save money, save money, save money.
Yes.
Um, Yeah, I mean, because that's so important when you work for
Yeah.
yourself. I think you have this like grand picture. You see like just the end result, but you don't see the
Right.
obstacles and things that are going to
Yeah.
happen while you're on the journey to that place. And, having some money saved up definitely helps a great deal. So definitely save money. Also, to be kind to yourself.
Mm.
Be kind, be patient with yourself, because you're gonna make mistakes and you're gonna fall, but you're gonna get back up and
Mhm.
you're gonna keep going and get on that journey. But I mean, really being kind and gracious towards yourself. And I would say the third one,
Mhm.
um, don't take anything personally.
Hmm. Yeah.
If people don't support you, if especially around the aspect of support, I think when we
Yeah.
think that we're becoming entrepreneurs or writing a book, as you
Yeah.
you think your whole team, your whole squad gonna buy a copy, and you recognize like, yo, they're not buying a copy. And oftentimes that's really just proximity blindness, because you're so
Mhm.
close to them, they can't really see you as
Yeah.
this entity, as this being.
Right.
And so really just don't take that personally.
That's so important. Because sometimes we do fall into the trap of like, why aren't they supporting me? Why aren't they just as excited as I am? You know what I mean?
Right,
Definitely understand
right.
that. I definitely feel that. So, what advice do you have for those who want to become life coaches?
I would definitely say, I feel like life coaching is a calling. It's not
Mm,
something that you just pop up one day and say that you want to do. I feel like you're called to do it. I would definitely say, know your why. Know why you want to be a life coach and understand your voice. What distinguishes you from the millions of life coaches who are out there? All these people who say that they're life coaches. What makes you a dynamic coach? Why would I want to work with you?
mm,
So know your why. Why do you want to be a life coach? Why would anybody want to work with you?
mm.
Um, and know your voice. Like, what is the purpose? Like, what is your unique spin on this business of coaching?
Right. So, I got to ask. So, what is your why?
Um, I feel like it's a through line through my life. I've
Mm,
always been the person that people came to for, advice or encouragement and things like that. So I think it's just something that's always been a part of my narrative.
mm,
Um, I think my biggest why is because I feel like that's what God created me to do. I feel like I was created to be a coach, to help people to transform, to help people to thrive.
mm.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
why. That's my
And
why.
hey, I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
So, what advice do you have for those who want to become models and actors? Seeing as you have so
Um,
much experience being a child model and growing from there.
get accustomed to the word no.
Hmm.
Be accustomed with rejection. That's a tough business. And, you see people who kind of just take off, but they land rather quickly. Slow and steady wins the race. Be diligent. Know your business, know the business, know who the right casting directors are, know who the movers and shakers are, know who those people are, but also, know who you are. Because in rejection, sometimes we can take on rejection as an identity.
Mm,
And if you don't know who you are, you can succumb to anything. So definitely know who you are and know, again, why you're doing this. And,
mm.
again, don't take a lot of things personally.
So very true. True advice, very important advice. You know what I mean? Because some people get so caught up in rejection, and like you said, they think it's personal. It's about them, and it's not always
Yeah.
about you. Most of the time, it's not about you.
Yeah.
No, it's not about you. It's about
Most of the time, it's not about you.
you know, not about.
Yeah.
So tell us about your work with men of color and what your main goals are in the work in which you do.
So I have a program. It's called Alchemic Solutions that's partnered with the City University of New York college system here in New York, CUNY. And it's a program called Alchemic Solutions that teaches young men of color how to develop emotional intelligence, which I'm very, very proud of. Um, and in the work that I do with men on a larger scale, I teach men that wholeness is possible for them. I teach them how to process and navigate through their emotions and mental health, to get them to a place of wholeness and thriving, so that they can show up better in their relationships, not only with others but with themselves.
Yes. So awesome. So awesome. And so, moving on, how has the pandemic affected you? And what are you doing to stay encouraged? Because we're kind of, some people are saying we're coming out of it. Some people are saying there's going to be a second wave. You know what I mean? So, how has this
Right.
whole process affected you?
I'm such a people person, and so
Yeah.
like it's affected me in a ways that I love being around people. I
Mm,
love interacting with people, and I recognize that now more than ever how much I have a yearning for relationship connectedness with people, not even in a romantic sense, but just
mm.
just as
Connecting,
people. Like I
extrovert. Yeah.
connection. I'm an extrovert,
Yeah.
and so it's affected me that way. But on the other end,
Mm.
I'm booked, busy, blessed, and black.
Yeah.
So on the
Hey.
other end of it, unfortunately, but fortunately for me, I've been in demand. A lot of people have asked me to do workshops. I've given
Awesome.
talks. I've done again Fox Soul. I've
Yes.
done TV and things like that. So, um, yeah, on that side, things are really, really good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you've been staying encouraged because you've been blessed, black, and big. Okay,
Yes,
all of those things.
yes,
All of those
all
things.
those things.
And so, similarly, how have the recent riots and the climate of distress in the Black community affected you? And how have you been participating in either the conversation or in the movement itself?
Um, as a black man,
Mhm.
who grew up in the South, this is very familiar to me.
Right. Yes.
you know so this has been, I've understood this, and so I almost want to come out. I almost don't want to be at a place where I'm numb to it or I'm used to
Mm.
it.
Mm.
um but it's still, it angers me as just a black man. It angers
Right.
me that we're not seen as human beings, and
Yes.
our lives don't matter
Mm.
in that regard.
Right.
But, also on the other side of it, I recognize that I'm still an agent of change, and that as long as I have breath in my body, I can still change and contribute to changing the narrative of what it means to be a black man or what it means to be a black person in this
Mm.
country.
Mm.
And the way that I'm helping with my advocacy is doing the work that I do.
Yes.
I'm continuously in these conversations. I'm having three conversations this week around dealing with black men and how to navigate mental health wise in the
Yes.
space of COVID, in the space of racial inequities in this
Mm.
country. So that's always the work that I've been doing for the last 10 years, and
Mm.
that's the work, God willingly, I hope to continue to do.
Yes, and we definitely want to support you in that. And so, unfortunately, we have come to the end of this week's episode of Midweek Motivation. But before we go, what words of
Yes,
encouragement or affirmation would you like to leave our guests on this special edition of the Black Motivation broadcast?
I will say this: that no one is born ill-equipped; they're just born ill-informed. And I'm here
Mm.
to inform you that you have everything you need to thrive in life.
Amen. 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 So, how can we find you and support you on social media and what you're doing, as well as your book?
Hey everybody! So you can follow me on Instagram at Pervis Taylor, PervisTaylor, and on Facebook, Pervis Taylor, and Twitter, Pervis Taylor. And you can get my book, Survival Mode. It's a book that teaches men how to thrive, how to thrive within their emotions and mental health, and that's available on survivalmode.com and Amazon.com.
Yes. Well, we want to thank you so much for being the first guest today on this episode of the Black Motivation Broadcast. You're the first today.
Awesome, awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really grateful.
For sure, for sure. Well, this has been an episode of the Black Motivation Broadcast, Midweek Motivation, y'all. We are out. Thank you for tuning in.